Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Live with Sarah. Happy Thursday evening. It is very cold this evening, but I am so happy to be with you guys and really to talk about a couple of my favorite topics, which is juicing and anti-aging. Our RegeneC line, we're going to kind of cover the whole line. You can't really see it in the picture here, but I'm going to share with you some of the things that I have learned on juicing, which I never truly juiced for skin health. I juiced for diet and overall internal health, but I think it has played a huge role in the health of my skin. So welcome, and hopefully my stream, if you can't hear me or something seems quirky, just shoot me a little shout out on the Google. I've trying to learn my lesson from the last time that I recorded an entire show totally silent. So anybody, welcome to the show this evening. So let's get started. I want to dive right in. Before I go into the RegeneC line, I want to start out by talking about juicing. Juicing has not been, it's been a part of my life probably just for the last couple of years. I was introduced to it through studying raw vegan eating and more of an elimination type detox and cleanse. A brief history. So the birth of raw SkinCeuticals and the acne line started about 2001 after Isaac was born, and I was looking for products that would help clear my skin, and that's how the birth of the brand happened. But through that, diet was always of big importance to me. Natural eating, clean eating, elimination of chemicals from the food, not eating anything that was processed. But through that began to evolve as I had we have four children. As I went through each pregnancy, would go through the weight gain, the weight loss, just diet concerns, elimination of chemicals, so many things involved with health and wellness, as well as the development of our skincare. I really took a hard look, probably, I want to say in 2005, 2006, we started our brand here in 2007 at doing a total elimination, like a body cleanse. I just felt I had it was after the birth of our third son, and I had really gained a lot of weight through that pregnancy. And I just felt sluggish and tired and not well. And I was just, I kind of, in working with products and doing things naturally, I said, man, there just has to be a natural way to cleanse and rid my body of toxins. So I looked at everything from the Master Cleanse. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that, which involves like lemon juice and cayenne pepper. So, man, this is not for me. Straight up, water fasting to dry fasting to juice fasting. And I was really fascinated with it at the time. And so what I decided to do was go on a really strict like water type fast. And, I tend to be extreme in certain things that I try to do, especially with health and wellness. I'll try anything. So I really wanted to lose weight and feel better. So I went on a water fast, and that lasted, I think, 7 days. And then for 10 days following, I did more of a juicing type regime. And I lost quite a bit of weight at that time. I don't remember the poundage, but it was a lot. And from there, decided to go more into a raw diet, just a raw food diet. I studied living in whole foods. I really became passionate about raw fruits and vegetables, and then started learning more about how they're processed in organic versus unorganic, and juicing versus blending. And so it became a huge passion with me, along with skincare. I was learning internally the blend of fruits and vegetables and how they played a role in the health of our body. And so to fast forward from that point, I would do, I began, then I got pregnant again with our fourth, and I was able to do a really healthy pregnancy with the raw diet, some blending, juicing, and mainly just the raw fruits and vegetables, not so much with the juicing. And so after she was born, just kind of kept with that diet and some indulgences here and there, but really went more raw vegan, and it kind of stayed that way. 2 years ago now, most of you watching, or those of you who are new, I had battled cervical cancer this year, and thankfully I'm cancer-free right now. So 2 years ago, I didn't know I was sick. I was diagnosed in March of this year, so I'd been sick for a while. And 2 years ago, as I kind of started feeling sick internally more, so I started looking at ways to fill my body with nutrition faster, and really got into juicing. You know, our philosophy with our skincare is total nutrition for the skin, the raw oils, herbs, and butters. So everything we deal with is chemical free, is the fragrance free, and we don't even play with the safe and clean ingredients. We only use what is pure and healthy for the skin in its raw state. So my passion has been internal and external nutrition. And internally, looking at my body, and as I began to feel sick, where I was off balance. You know, should I be eating more of this way? Should I be blending more? Should I be juicing more? And I started to explore my options with juicing, and kind of off and on, because juicing is tedious and it's labor intensive, and it's something you really have to commit to. It was easier to blend, you know, bananas, kale, spinach, you know, make the green smoothie, spirulina. But about a year ago, I decided to really make a hard commitment. My body at the time, I was just feeling sick, and I had not seen a doctor. I was, you know, been a naturalist, and so I would consult with some holistic practitioners, and, you know, I was on the supplements, and I was advised to maybe go see an actual doctor, but I didn't listen, I didn't pay attention. I just wanted to get better. And so started juicing heavily, decided to go more of a juice type fast for healing. And that was the end of last year. And so started incorporating juicing into my diet. And then when I was diagnosed with cancer, I knew that my body, it kind of flooded with all the, okay, I have really been sick and this is why. And I knew I wanted to attack it with juice. There is a philosophy that the body has to stay pH balanced. And it's our philosophy with the skin. The more acidic the body is internally, the more prone it is to sickness. The more alkaline the body is internally, the more it's prone to health or to combat sickness. And so I started studying the pH of my urine, and started studying all the foods that were alkaline, and was going to go on a straight, you know, looking at juicing for combating cancer, juicing for health. And this whole world opened up to me of going, wow, okay, so you can go raw, you can go vegan, you can incorporate green smoothies, and then this whole world of juicing just kind of erupted for me, of juicing for health. And juicing is not like, you don't just juice for weight loss and not have the results in all other aspects. You don't just juice for combating sickness and not have the balance of weight or skin health. Juicing is a whole internal body occurrence that balances everything. It's beautiful as far as in our environment that we are in today and everything that we have to combat. Juicing can kind of take up the weight and pick up the balance of where our environment, and especially here in the United States, where our environment has not failed, but we're exposed to so many chemicals and toxins, and our bodies are predisposed, and our babies are being born with them, that almost extreme measures in nutrition seem to be the necessity. And that's how I viewed it. So as soon as I was diagnosed, I started looking at juicing, because at the time when I was first diagnosed, they told me that my cancer and the tumor was probably going to be inoperable. You know, they felt a mass and they felt another mass. And so it's this whole waiting game of, okay, so I'm diagnosed with cancer. I don't know what I'm going to face. I don't know what my options are going to be. And it seemed like hours and minutes waiting. So, you get scheduled for your PET scan and all your scans to tell you your staging. And I knew immediately, because prior to that, I had gone on a 30-day all juice fast. And I think just instinctively, my body felt sick, and I knew that nutritionally I was doing everything right that it shouldn't be this sick, and I still hadn't known that I had cancer growing. And so I took a 30-day juice fast, and I juiced mostly carrots, celery, greens, a lot of lemons, apples, oranges. I kept pretty much to easy stuff to juice because with a business, 4 children, and just a hectic, busy lifestyle, preparing and cutting and all of that, just takes time. So I did that for 30 days. And when I finally went to the doctor, had an occurrence that took me to the ER, and I was diagnosed with cancer. I knew that I wanted to combat it with juicing. And if surgery wasn't an option, I was going to face chemotherapy and radiation. I knew I had to start building my immunity. So I dove deep into understanding the pH balance in the body and how my body got sick. Sickness dwells in acidic environment. Cooked foods are acidic. Processed foods are acidic. Sugar is acidic. Everything that turns to sugar in the body. Alcohols are acidic. And then looking at everything that's alkaline, and not all raw foods are alkaline forming. There's a lot of your citrus fruits and a lot of your fruits that can be mildly acidic. Your high alkaline are your greens, your leafy greens, celeries, carrots. There's so many. Swiss chard, arugula, so you can juice the leaves and the greens. We started growing like sprouts here. We're crazy about growing now, wheatgrass. And I studied everything from juicing to combat cancer at stage 4, juicing for weight loss, and just blended all of this into, got a digital pH meter to test the acidic value of my urine to keep that high, because cancer and sickness cannot live in a high alkaline environment. High alkaline environment means your cells are getting oxygen. Acidic environment means the body is starved of oxygen. So when we put cooked food in, whether that's cooked broccoli or cooked meat, it's acidic in the body. And sometimes it's not bad. It's not bad to have acidics can bring out certain antioxidants. And I'm not saying that, you should not eat cooked food. I have a family that does eat cooked food. But when it came to combating and knowing I had cancer right there living inside of my body, I wanted to do everything that I could to give it the alkaline environment and to put the oxygen back in. Because if you could put the oxygen back into the cells, then it would suffocate the sickness. And so my original diagnosis was that I had a cancer that was probably inoperable. The tumor was too large, and they felt a second mass. The PET scan showed only one tumor that was the size of about a lemon. And then when I actually went in for surgery, I had a wonderful oncologist who's a fantastic surgeon. I was very blessed. When he did my surgery, and so all this time I'm juicing, straight juicing. When he did my surgery and it was over, he said the tumor ended up being the size of an almond. So it went from inoperable to size of an almond, and I don't have any scientific data, and I can't prove anything, but I absolutely know that through juicing and keeping my pH up through that alkaline type juices is why I believe I was able to, my body probably stopped feeding the cancer. I wasn't putting the sugar in. When they did my PET scan, they put a glucose radiation through my veins that what they said would travel straight to the cancer. Well, glucose is sugar. And I just remember immediately thinking, because I think from a product and a nutrition perspective, I'm in products all day. I'm in communication with you guys all day long about nutrition for your skin. And here I am facing this at the same time, understanding. And when they said they put sugar into my veins to go to the cancer, well, then that tells me sugar feeds cancer, and it indeed does. And you kind of knew that, but when it's in your body, you know that for real. Like it became a reality. And so I eliminated all refined sugar from my diet and went straight after juicing. And I know that now I'm talking extremes, because not all of you have cancer and all of you are going to get cancer. I know right now, I think the numbers are high, 1 in 4. I know right now that a lot of our bodies feel sick, and sometimes we don't understand. And I believe that has that's diet related. I know our skin has issues from eczema to rosacea to dryness to oiliness to acne. That's dietary issues as well as combating it topically. So I'm, as you know, those of you who speak with me and they're getting to know me through the live with Sarah, and as we just envelop our ability to communicate with you more, I am as big a proponent of what you're putting inside your body as I am what you're putting on your body, because now I have this really, what's turned from an absolute tragedy to just an amazing blessing of realizing I was sick, and before I knew I had cancer, starting the juicing heavy, and then when I was diagnosed, increasing the alkaline juices, feeding my cells that oxygen through having surgery, to now I'm cancer free, to battling since cancer. Post-surgery, I've battled urinary tract infections, which have just been as a result of them pulling out, you know, the radical hysterectomy doesn't just pull out your cervix and uterus, he pulled everything out, lymph nodes that filter infection, second and third level. So it was a big surgery. So my body has been prone to just the bacteria and infections, period. And I did the several rounds of antibiotics, and I am not a fan of antibiotics because I think it can help weaken your immune system. So you've got to balance that. So again, balancing that with juicing. The last time I went to my doctor was about a month ago, and I see my doctors still way too often, but they said, Sarah, you still have got your urinary tract infection. So I went home and I said, you know what? I am going to stop the antibiotics, and I'm just going to increase my juicing that I'm doing. And I did carrots, mainly carrots, like 1.5 pounds a day of carrots. And you know, organic carrots and celery, everybody's like, well, costs and time. I'm just going to tell you, when you commit to internally changing some things, it's amazing how you can find the time and the budget. And you know that I've chatted about this with some clients this week on our product review panel. It's priorities. And you know, when you make a step towards natural healing, or your body's feeling sick, or you're wanting well, I'm going to tell you that even if you just juice a little, even if it's maybe twice a week, or you just commit to maybe a juice in the morning, you know, you don't have to be extreme like me. I was extreme. But anyway, the second living testimony is just I've juiced heavier and decided not to go on my antibiotics. And I just went into the doctor today and they said, you do not have a urinary tract infection. So I said, you know, what's ironic is I didn't take the antibiotic you prescribed. I just did my juicing therapy. And they just smiled because they know now when they come in, no, Sarah, she's raw and she likes her juices. And I'm very happy to say that. And so in giving you guys some tips and understanding, you know, there's so many websites and so many gurus of juicing. I'm not any of those. I'm a wife and a mom and an individual. I have battled cancer and sickness and weight gain and acne. And I'm here to say that I'm a firm believer in two things in your diet, especially today, and dealing with just what we do. I think, you know, many years ago when we weren't exposed to the chemicals, it wasn't necessary. But if you can incorporate juicing and you can incorporate even smoothies like the green smoothies, then you can really change. Like, it changes the dynamic of your body internally. Even being vegan, even being mostly raw, you know, your body's still digesting and processing. When you drink a juice, within 10 to 15 minutes, that nutrition hits your bloodstream, and there's no fiber. So juicing pulls the fiber out. So it's all the nutrition going to your blood. And juicers, and this can be basic, and you don't have to have the most expensive juicer. You can go to Walmart or your Target or order one on Amazon or eBay, you know, for $100 or $200. I mean, there's extravagant juicers. I have a masticating juicer, which juices slower, so you get some of the pulp and fiber. But I think my tip is this, is try it. make an investment and say, okay, especially during the holiday seasons, when what's one of the biggest things on our mind is diet. I don't want to gain weight. I don't want my skin to break out. I know I'm going to be indulging in the baked goods, even organic baked goods, and just eating heavier, all of these things, baking for my kids, Thanksgiving, Christmas. It's a big eating party, great, beautiful, joyous, and you don't want to sit down and go, oh my gosh, I feel sluggish, I feel sick. I think we can have a clean and fresh holiday season, enjoy the indulgences. But if you say, okay, Sarah, I'm with you. I'm going to commit to juicing, and maybe it's just once a day. Go buy juice a bag of carrots, like a pound of carrots, get some celery, and you can get these things organically. Some of you have access to year-round markets. There's any number of ways to source produce. Spinach. Now, spinach doesn't go through some of the fast juicers, the leaves and the grasses. You need that slower masticating juicer. I'd be happy to make a recommendation. But just for skin health, and ways to start, and we're probably going to start posting on this because I've been asked about it a lot. Add that in to your diet, and you will notice everything is better. It'll make you feel more awake. It will help if you are battling any kind of sickness, if you have internal struggles, if you are battling rosacea severely, if you're battling acne, if you're battling dry skin, if you're battling just overall, maybe you're wanting to juice for weight loss. When you incorporate raw juices into your diet, even 6-8 ounces in the morning, it's going to make it will change the dynamic of your body internally. It will raise your pH level. And it's just healthy. And there's not anything wrong to juice. You can juice it all. There are some things that are my favorites. The carrots, hands down, are a staple in almost every juice that I have. I'm a big fan of ginger. I'm a big fan of the celeries, the wheatgrass, citrus fruits. Love juicing the oranges, lemons. I add some fun things every once in a while. I'm a big fan of the green smoothie, bananas, papaya, pineapple, spirulina, adding the greens, wheatgrass. Supplements. You asked me, Sarah, what are supplements? I'm not a fan of the gel cap supplements. I like to juice it and like to eat it internally, and that's my preference. There are a lot of good supplements on the market, but nothing can quite substitute for that fresh raw juice or that smoothie. And smoothie, the difference between juicing and smoothie has all the fiber of that fruit and vegetable. So you're going to get some of the nutrition is going to absorb better than if you eat it, in its raw state. It's only going to absorb so much nutrition, and then it's filtered out as fiber. In its juice state, it's all nutrition, no fiber, but we need fiber in our diet. And in smoothies, it's the fiber and the nutrition. And so as far as combating straight up colds, flus, sickness, any number of ailments, I could talk for hours about this, and I want to incorporate it. Try it. Go out, invest in a small juicer, buy your produce, run it through the juicer, give it a week. Say, okay, I'm gonna juice every morning, or juice in the evenings when you have time. It is time. You got to cut the vegetables. You got to get everything prepared. I've done everything from juice in advance, put it in gallon jugs, and then consume it, because you got to consume it within a few days. You don't want it to sit. It will start to sour. So that's more than my 2 cents on juicing. It's part of my life, and if I can encourage you to make it a part of yours, I'm going to, because I think that we are combating so much in our environment, and we do indulge in what we want to enjoy. And especially around this time of year, even thinking specifically for my own children and my family, as we head into the holidays and the festivities and the parties and just having fun, we're exposed to things that aren't necessarily healthy, from the chocolates to the candies to the baked goods. So that's what I want to share with you. And as far as skin, it affects your skin, because when you put that health into your body starts to detox naturally and shed it out through, and your skin will become more alive. It'll become more hydrated. It's not just about drinking water. So moving into the RegeneC line, because I can just take up all of our time and talk about juicing. And I think I'm gonna I've been asked a lot for just recipes and stuff. I'll start posting some of what I do because I'm like mass produce juice because it takes time, and I'm a big fan of certain specific things. So I'm a creature of habit, and I love it, and I know it has been healing, and I know that it's why I'm gonna stay cancer free. Like eliminating juicing to me would equal getting sick again, and that's not what I want to do. Okay, so moving into the RegeneC line, we have our RegeneC line is our vitamin C anti-aging. I didn't want to call it anti-aging, but it's what's on the market and what's known, because it's really about aging gracefully, because you're going to age. But I began to study as when we first, launched our line in Colorado in 2007, we had our acne and we had our products for eczema, and we had the line called Wisdom, and that's what we call the anti-aging, because it's not about reversing age, and it's not about not aging. We are going to age as we get older, but I do believe that, especially specifically topically, we can age gracefully, and again, put that balance of nutrition on your skin that it needs. When we turn about 25, our body slows production of collagen. It's natural collagen, and that's that's a scientific fact. That's not based on gender, race, ethnicity, time period. That happens. Usually it takes about 15 years before we have stopped producing collagen altogether. So slowly, if we don't put anything onto our skin, and in a perfect environment, we have good diet, not using anything on our skin, we kind of begin to dry up like a raisin. So our body's not producing collagen, so its natural suppleness lessens, and that begins to increase. That's when you start seeing the fine lines, some of the wrinkles, and then you combine that with maybe poor diet, our environment that we're exposed to, and then topically using products for years, like I did myself, filled with chemicals and harsh products, which increased the age. I began to study when I looked at, okay, we're going to do anti-aging, where women in Asian countries, in India and other countries of the world, they have better skin. Like they looked more youthful and they were older, and I wondered what was their kind of secret, what were they doing? And I began to study the oils, Ayurvedic type oils, and the natural oils they were putting on their face, from argan. Some of you are familiar with a lot of these: argan, borage, tamanu, even the neem's pumpkin seed, hemp seed, rosehip seed, all the beautiful oils that were rich in the fatty acids, and that were these women were putting on in just like a serum form, or the oils, because they didn't, when I began to study their products, they were using individual ingredients or combining them or making their own kind of like potions, so to speak. Whereas the major brands that we've all been accustomed to for combating age, even down to natural brands, the top 5 ingredients are still water, glycerin, alcohols, extracts. And I'm asking myself, how can we as companies and as brands say this is going to help age when the top 5 ingredients are not feeding your skin anything to combat age or to help it to produce a healthier cell? So we put together vitamin C, and you hear that all the time, vitamin C, for combating age. It's a beautiful antioxidant. It combats the free radicals in herbs and oils that it's rich in. That's what we wanted, was to put it in your rosehip, in your tamanu, in the herb complex, the chrysanthemum, the helichrysum. You look at we do use an L-ascorbic acid, very, very low percentages. In our products, in our moisturizers and cleansers, the mask is at a 3%. That's the highest. I have clients who have said they're using products that contain upwards of 10 or 15%. Oh my gosh, that just spells to me that that's going to really cause more damage to the skin. So as we studied areas where women's skin was more youthful and looked at how they were handling their regime, kind of birthed the vitamin C line, and it's called RegeneC. And we have a lot of products. I think 2, 4, 6, 8. It's like 10, 11 products, and that can be overwhelming, because when people want a full regime of ours, they're like, wow, Sarah, it's a lot of steps. Not when you break it down, because each product has its purpose. So that's what the point of this tonight is, to give you a brief overview to break down the RegeneC line so that you can realize, oh, wow, it's not all the steps. Each one is combating. You know, the first product that's a go-to, and really one of our best sellers, is the eye cream. It's in this nice pretty little glass jar, if I can get it to focus in on the camera. And it's a beautiful product. What do you want the eye cream to do? You want an eye cream that's going to combat dark circles, dehydration, some of that bags, the sagginess, the fine lines, and the wrinkles. Well, all of those are done through feeding it the omega fatty acids, the antioxidants, the hydration to combat the dryness, and you've got tiny little blood vessels all around the eyes. So when we're stressed, you know, so much of the health of our body shows in the eyes. And so our purpose with the eye cream is to give you a very concentrated omega fatty acid rich product that required very little application. You can use twice a day, that absorbed well, and customers love it. It's a great, you know, if you take our ingredient listing, we've done some product comparisons and compared across all eye creams on the market, and let's compare them with organic and natural brands. And I really feel like ours stands above so many of those because we don't use water, we don't use glycerin, we don't use extracts in the product. We're using a herb infused organic aloe base, rich in rosehip, argan, borage, tamanu, and you're combating the true issues around the eyes. And over time, you know, and if you're balancing that even internally, that only helps accelerate the benefits. So that's our eye cream. It's more of a kind of a vanilla color. I'm trying to show you guys here for those you can't see. Oh, that's nice. It's not really showing. It kind of shows it a little bit. This is something you want to use twice a day. It's the first thing I put on in the morning, and it's the last thing I put on at night before I put my moisturizer on. And every morning, wake up, you know, I splash my face, I tone, I put on the eye cream, and then my moisturizer for the day. Right now, my skin's really dry, so I'm using our Hydro Moist, so I'll talk about that next because most of my regime is in the RegeneC line. And this is the Hydro Moist. And so this is a cream that is rich in the butters as well as the anti-aging. We had a product for a long time, and we still have it. It's in the rosacea line called Intense Moisture. And so that was the go-to product for clients who were battling dry skin. But what we realized was that with the Intense Moisture, that was really combating redness, inflammation, and dryness, and had some of the anti-aging benefits with the vitamin C. But what we found was we needed to have that rich moisture with the, quote, the anti-aging components, the vitamin C infused herb complex, the oils, the rosehip, so that you were getting the roche, kokum, mango, alipe butters, which are feeding it vitamins, combating dehydration and dryness, and just giving you that rich feel, but at the same time, feeding it the vitamin C, the omega fatty acids. So that's what you're going to have with the Hydro Moist cream. This is really, you know, as we start to do some promotion and put out our winter wear products, if you have fairly normal aging skin, you battle dryness, this is going to be your nighttime moisturizer. Right now, I'm using this twice a day. I have been really dry, and I think it's just, we turned cold very quickly, and it can be dry in my house and in our offices. So I just had dry skin. So I use this in the morning and at night. We do have a day cream. Let me show you this product. Part of our philosophy is seeing the natural before you feel it, because a lot of these you can open up and you see a unique color, like it's more golden, or it has a green hue, or you might see some of the acai or something like that. And we love that in our products, that you're not just going to get a white cream across the board, because that's not what we're using. You know, you're getting the colors from the herbs and the oils, and they're very rich. And so this is a Hydro Moist. It's going to have more of a buttery cream color, very similar to the eye. And again, these are concentrated, so a little goes a long way in application. I don't use very much. I pull out just a tiny amount, massage over my face, put on my eye cream, and good to go. For those of you who have fairly normal skin, we have an SPF day cream. This is SPF 15, and we use the SPF factor is the micronized zinc oxide, which is also nutritious for the skin. So you've got the vitamin C complex, the vitamin C rich oils. It's a lighter product. It's meant to wear underneath our BB cream foundation or powder foundation, or it's just meant to wear under makeup or just as your day cream. So it's going to be a lighter, faster absorbing day cream. It's going to hydrate, but if you are, again, suffering from more dry skin, you may want to either combine both or just use the Hydro Moist, because our BB cream foundation has SPF in it. So that's our day cream. Next moisturizer in the line is called the C cream, and everything we denote with nice convenient letters to let you know which product you're using. This is an AM and PM. So you have normal and aging skin and you just want a moisturizer. Like, you don't really mind not having a day cream with SPF, and you don't have very dry skin. So Sarah, I'm just looking for a simple routine. This is your go-to AM and PM product. This is the C cream. It's going to give you the vitamin C rich, the omega fatty acids. It's a lighter product, so it's going to give you hydration, but it's going to balance your skin. And this is for those who are wanting a one moisturizer product, or that may have more of an oily skin, less dry. You would use the C cream. So you can have a day cream, use day cream in the AM, C cream at night. You can use the C cream AM and PM. It's really up to you. That's why we've got a lot of products. That goes back to me saying, if you want a simple routine to a more enveloped routine, we can offer that for you. Next product, before I get into more of the specifics with the serum and the scar and the mask, going to be your cleanser, toner, and exfoliator. And that's these three products here. You need all three in your regime. Cleanser every day, and not twice a day, 1 time a day. Why, Sarah, do we not cleanse twice a day? I want to cleanse my face in the morning because I'm a believer that over agitation of the skin causes increased dryness or increased breakouts. Either one causes redness. When you sleep all night, in the morning, you can spritz a toner on your face, you can put to moisturize, you can splash warm water on your face, but you don't have so much bacteria from the night before that you need to cleanse your face and do that agitation. Even with our creamy cleanse, and this is a cream-based cleanse, this is going to give you good cleansing, but it's more of a cleansing cream, so it's going to be a really nice pasty lather. And it's meant to be used 1 time a day. At night is best. That's what we recommend. You cleanse, tone, and moisturize at night, and then you tone and moisturize in the morning. And then exfoliator is part of your either once a week. Now we recommend, and I went through this in one of our first live shows, the mini facial, 1 time weekly, where you exfoliate, mask, and serum. And that's where kind of you've got a well-rounded. We have a lot of clients that just exfoliate once a week, and they're fine with that. We have some that just cleanse and mask, and they don't exfoliate at all. So it's really what you find is balanced for you, because one thing I know for sure is that each of your skin is different. It's going to react differently. So that's the exfoliator. I recommend it as part of your weekly regime. You can have it. It's going to last a long time, 1 time a week, and give you that good deep exfoliation. Combine it with the mask, which I'll show next is our C mask. This is probably one of my favorite products because battling acne for so long, I tried so many different masks that didn't work. I absolutely love our mask. I think that, if you haven't masked, or you're considering, especially through the holiday seasons when our body, I wouldn't say that stress levels are at a high, but we're just in a constant motion right now, especially as if you're wives, moms, you're just going all the time. You've got kids with programs. It's just a busy, busy time. Shopping, even when, my favorite time of year. But right now, I mask once a week because I'm constantly exposed. And so my face needs just that relief, that little, when you put the mask on, ours is it's a gel-based mask, and it's very herb rich, and gel, not as in gel, like synthetic gel that dries on the face. Gel, we use an agar-agar, which is like a seaweed geller. So it's going to feel almost like it's a very orangey product. I don't know if I can get it on the camera to show you guys, maybe a little bit. But this is very herb rich. It goes on like a paste, and it does dry, but the butters and the oils absorb in, and the vitamin C is at a 3%. So you almost have this little kind of like a tingling sensation on the skin, and your skin might get red. You might feel a little bit of burning, and if you feel very uncomfortable, you can take it off. We recommend leaving it on 15 to 20 minutes and just letting it do its job. But if you're uncomfortable with the mask, you don't like the way it's making your skin, please take it off. That's why we have a starter regime and sample packs, so you can try products in a smaller amount and give you just a few applications before you make the commitment to the big jar, full retail size. So masking, exfoliation, they go hand in hand with that weekly mini facial. You don't want to mask more than once a week. Again, over masking and over exfoliating the skin can cause the problems you're trying to combat to be worse, whether that's dryness, redness, inflammation, or breakouts. So I'm gonna be very consistent with telling you that you need to do your weekly mini facial, but you don't need to overdo it. Everything's in balance. So you need to cleanse once a day, you need to tone twice a day, you need to moisturize twice a day. Really, if you're 25 and older, everybody, including myself, you need your eye cream every day, twice a day. It's going to help. Even if you're on our acne regime, if you're on a rosacea line, this is a product that goes from teenagers on up through older adults, through rosacea to acne to eczema, psoriasis. It's going to be gentle. It is recommended for most of your skin struggles. Now, some of the very severe type rosaceas, eczemas, we do like a patch test, but this should be very gentle on and around the eye and very hydrating. I recommend it for everybody. And it comes in a nice little glass jar. It's very concentrated, usually a full size, and I want to say it's probably 3 to 4 month supply, unless you're liberal with it. We have some clients that absolutely love it, and I think they use it more over their whole face, and then it becomes more of a cream. But used accordingly, it's about a 3 to 4 month supply. Okay, next, the final two products I'm going to talk about, they kind of go hand in hand, and that's the vitamin C serum. This is a great serum. Our serums do not have alcohols. They do not have glycerin. They are oil. They are oil-based serums that are aged in the herb complex for each line. We have 3 serums. We have our acne serum, we have our rosacea serum, we have our vitamin C serum. And our vitamin C serum is it's just a very rich, contains the oils. You go through the ingredient listing on all of our products, you see a lot of similarities in the line, but they vary in percentages. So this has got the rosehip, the argan, the borage. It's aged in the herb complex. It has the vitamin C, so it's meant to go on generally once a week. Now I'm going to qualify this, and we probably need to make updates because we have a growing number of clients that use this every day, and that's completely okay. I was asked, I forget, I think it was last week, I had a client call me and said, Sarah, I feel like I might be using this wrong, but I've been using it every day and I absolutely love it, but I just read on your website where it said that it needs to be used once a week as part of the mini facial. That's completely fine to use this every day. It's a very rich oil. There is no cream or emulsion, so it's going to absorb a little deeper into the skin. We have it as part of your mini facial where you exfoliate, mask, and serum. When you exfoliate, mask, when you go as an esthetician and you're performing a facial, you go through kind of the 7 steps. I wanted to give you guys a regime at home where you didn't have to go necessarily have that facial. You could self-facial, that little mini facial to give your skin just that relaxing, deep exfoliation, that glow the day afterwards. How did you accomplish this? So we have the exfoliator, the mask, and the serum, and this usually follows through like a steam application, hot towels. I really recommend using heat, any kind of steam or heat to allow the serum to soak in. Or you can use it as a spot treatment or an everyday moisturizer if that's your preference. This is very concentrated oil, little's going to go a long way. So that's our vitamin C serum. Lastly is our age spot and scar cream. So the eye cream and the age spot and scar cream are kind of the 2 products that cross lines, meaning usually as a customer you're going to fall into one line or a blend of 2, like especially with acne. You may start out with acne and then blend into the RegeneC line. That's our goal, to get your acne under control and then blend in the anti-aging, the rich vitamin C's, because acne is going to combat more of the bacteria, toxins, the breakouts on the skin. So these are the 2 products that I would recommend for any of you coming with any different type of skin problems, because we all battle the liver spots, some of the acne scars, maybe mild scars on the face, the dark spots, you know, where the melanin has just kind of gone into shock mode, and so you're left with that patch on your face or your hands or your arms. This age spot and scar cream has got the vitamin C, it's got the tamanu, and I've published on our website, and probably need to make it a little more available. They've actually done clinical studies on rosehip and tamanu to show like study groups of combating age spots and scarring over time using those oils. And again, we're using the raw and refined oils, so you're getting the full nutrition of the product. So the age spot and scar cream is a real like creamy yellow looking product because it's very high in tamanu and rosehip. Those are dark oils. Tamanu is a very dark oil. This is something you would apply. So how do you apply? So basically, you do your spot treatment first and then your moisturizer. You can, if you have like, you're really clearing from acne or you've got a lot of sun damage over your face, we have a lot of clients who just use this product straight as their moisturizer for about 30 days. That's more of extreme cases. If you're battling just a few spots, you would apply your, it's this, you apply your eye cream, your spot treatment, then your moisturizer over, unless you're using it on an all over spot. If using it on your hands twice a day, you got to commit to this product. You will see, you know, the life cycle of the cell is every 6 weeks. You know, we're shedding off dead cells. So the goal is to feed the skin topically the nutrition, just like internally through juicing, giving it that concentrated nutrition every day in the form of your moisturizers, you know, using a balanced cleanser so you're ridding the bacteria, leaving the pores open to receive the moisturizer and all the nutrients. So with the age spot and scar cream or the vitamin C serum can also be used to combat those types of ailments. Twice a day is going to put that vitamin C rich omega fatty acids directly into that spot. So as the cells cycle out and your skin produces new cells, they are forming lighter and healthier. That's our goal, so that you're encouraging healthier cells to form, just like internally through juicing. You're detoxing the old and the bad out, and you're allowing new, healthier cells to thrive in an oxygen-rich environment inside the body through juicing, through creating more of an alkaline environment. Same thing with the skin. Through the time period of applying vitamin C rich oils and how we've concentrated this, the blend of oils over time is going to fade the age spot and scars. It's not going to bleach it like bleaching products. It's not going to shock it like some of these chemical peels. It's just going to be that concentrated vitamin C, omega fatty acids, and the nutrition when applied twice a day over time. You're like, wow, this is beginning to fade. You know, I had a lot of acne damage. You could put my skin under a black light and see all the scar tissue underneath. I would get huge cystic boils around my chin, my forehead, my face. And as I began really honing in on a regime for myself through just making products in my kitchen before we ever put a label or a brand or thought about selling it, I began to notice my skin clearing and wanted to study the oils that would combat the scarring, and started playing with vitamin C type products in the tamanu. This very cream today that has just really evolved was out of me combating my own acne scarring. I had some pits, like small pitted scars on the side of my face. They're not there anymore. And I was very freckly and had some, more significant sun damage, because tanning to me at the time as a teenager, if I tanned, it was recommended by my dermatologist, you could tan and help clear your acne, but over tanning could make it worse. Well, tanning period is not recommended, especially in tanning bed. It is known to feed cancer cells in the body, and so I'm not a fan of tanning beds, but I did tan, and consequently, through battling acne and then putting the heavy retin-A's, I had some sun damage. So this nice even tone that I have now was not this way many years ago. And so that kind of really a fun line, and it's something that I love recommending products in. And you can have just a cleanse and moisturize regime. You can still keep it simple. I think I would recommend to everybody the eye cream And I definitely would recommend to everybody some type of mini facial. If you can't commit to the mask, exfoliator, and serum, I would probably opt for the mask even before the exfoliator, because that's going to really do a good job at deep exfoliation. So feel free to, send me an email, send us an email. We'll make recommendations for you. I'm so happy to share. We've thought about campaign names and taglines. We're holistic topical nutrition for your skin, or raw vegan. And how do we explain this on a consistent basis? Because you guys are hit with products and brands all the time, marketing natural, organic, solution-based. This is a solution for, and I can turn around and read 9 out of the 10 labels and find why it's not working for you, or why it's not going to do as good a job. It may be clean, it may be hydrating for your skin. There's some good products in the market. I'm not saying ours is better. I want to believe that ours is complete nutrition for your skin, and we're going to give you the truth. If I can't do something for your skin, I'm going to tell you I can't do this for your skin. There are certain conditions that if you're not going to commit to some dietary changes, like with acne, eliminating inflammatory foods, processed foods, gluten, at least slowing the consumption, may hurt your progress. There's only so much that topically a product's going to do, but there is the necessity of a balanced topical product, because the skin is an organ and it absorbs everything. And when you put, you turn around, take all of your products, everybody's watching, and go look at everything on your shelf, read the ingredients, look at the top 5. What are they? Are they water? Are they something you can't understand or read? Are they glycerin? Is it extract? Is it oil? And what kind of oil? Is it a refined oil? And really study the labels of your products, and that will help you understand why you are or are not getting the results that you seek. It's right there. And then if the ingredients aren't listed, then that's a problem too, because there's some companies we've Googled to just do, we get asked all the time, Sarah, what do you think about this line? Or I've used this product, what do you think? And I know a lot of them, but I don't know all of them, of course. And certain companies don't list ingredients, and that's a huge red flag for me. If I can't find their ingredients online, then I'm just going to really walk away from it altogether. And then when I do look at an ingredient listing, even organic, even safe, you may not be harming your skin, but are you feeding it the balance of nutrition that it needs? That's what we're here to offer, is the balance of nutrition for your skin, whether that's a simple 2-step regime or a full embodied regime. So, tonight, I think I skipped it. Was juicing is our code word for tonight. So those of you who are watching, I have to get to the very end of this episode. Juicing is the code word for the voucher. I'm so happy to share with you. I think what I'm going to do next week, we're going to really kind of stay on this topic of juicing and smoothing as we go into the holidays, really kind of encouraging you guys to add that in as we indulge and enjoy and want to enjoy. Don't stress the holidays. Last thing we need to do is stress the weight gain and the food. You want to enjoy and be balanced. Everything's in balance. It has to be in balance. My body got off balance and I got sick and I got cancer, so it's not even about being extreme one direction or the other. It's really about achieving balance. So I love you all, and I'm so happy to have shared with you tonight. And juicing is your code word, and I wish you all a beautiful evening, and we will see you again live on Tuesday of next week. Take care, everybody.